As US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin meet on US soil in Anchorage, Alaska for high-stakes talks aimed at ending the war in Ukraine, history has come full circle in a deeply symbolic way. The very ground where the two world leaders are sitting across from each other, Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Alaska's largest military base, once belonged to the Russian Empire. Now, over 150 years later, the former imperial outpost has become a strategic American stronghold and the unlikely backdrop for a modern geopolitical summit. Russia's control of Alaska began in the 18th century under Tsar Peter the Great, who dispatched Danish explorer Vitus Bering in 1725 to explore the North Pacific. By the late 1700s, Russia had formalized its colonial presence with the creation of the Russian-American Company in 1799. Sitka, established on the southeastern coast, became the colonial capital. But the harsh environment, distance from St. Petersburg, and resistance from Alaska's indigenous peoples made Russian colonization an expensive and uncertain endeavor. By the mid-1800s, Alaska was becoming more of a burden than a prize. Tsar Alexander II's solution was to sell Alaska before it could be lost in war or fall into British hands. At the same time, the US was expanding westward with a vision of continental reach. Secretary of State William Seward, an ardent expansionist, saw the Russian offer as a strategic bargain. On March 30, 1867, the US agreed to purchase Alaska for $7.2 million, or roughly 2 cents an acre. The treaty was signed by Seward and Russian envoy Eduard de Stoical, officially transferring nearly 600,000 square miles of land to the US. Many Americans mocked the deal. Newspapers called it Seward's folly and Seward's icebox, dismissing Alaska as a frozen wilderness of little value. Now, as Trump and Putin are in Anchorage for critical talks on Ukraine, the symbolism of the location is hard to ignore. Separated by just 55 miles across the Bering Strait, Alaska remains the US front line with Russia. It is home to elite F-22 and F-35 fighter squadrons, early warning radar systems, and a legacy of surveillance stretching back to the Cold War. Indeed, Russia's ambitions in the Arctic, its history in Alaska, and the war in Ukraine are deeply interwoven. And for Trump, holding a summit in a place America once bought from Russia may be a calculated message of dominance, diplomacy, or both. Whether today's meeting results in a breakthrough or a standoff, the summit setting offers a powerful reminder of how history moves in cycles. The question now isn't what Russia gave up, but whether it is ready to give up something else, the war in Ukraine.
Subscribe to Oneindia and never miss an update. Download the Oneindia app now.